Welcome back. Let's take a look at tomorrow's headlines and see what will be making news on Thursday. The Newcastle Herald goes with the headline, Coalition's Explosive Split. As you can imagine, this is still making news. Will do for the rest of the week, I'm sure. But their angle is comments from Barnaby Joyce, Senior National Party MP. Barnaby Joyce believes his party will be better able to promote issues such as the construction of a nuclear power plant in the Upper Hunter without the constraints imposed by a coalition partnership. Joyce goes on to say the historic split with the Liberal Party was inevitable after the election defeat of the coalition. And he says it has to be acknowledged there's a completely different worldview in the Hunter Valley where the Nationals have a very strong representation compared to, say, Warringah in the northern beaches of Sydney. It's only the fourth time there's been a fracture in the coalition. I think Barnaby Joyce probably makes a pretty good point, Freya. You're looking at me like you don't agree, but surely it's easier for them to promote their policies without having to kowtow to Liberals who are focused on winning back Teal seats.
But it was a Liberal policy at the last election. The Liberals adopted it and they might be able to talk about it, but good luck ever building it because you'll never be in government without a coalition with the Liberals.
Well, to be fair to Barnaby Joyce, the Liberals aren't sure whether they're going to go with it
It's under review. But if past election commitments are anything to go by, I am not buying this whole line that the Liberals are going to chuck out nuclear at all. And so I just think this is him trying to rationalise a very silly decision on the part of the National Party.
Well, I do hope that Barnaby Joyce is okay. I mean, he's obviously getting his cancer treatment and he's probably thinking, thank goodness, right now I'm actually not here dealing with this fallout. But I've got to say, to be honest, I think he makes a very good point. And I've said this on the show last night. The Liberals need to continue with this nuclear policy and they need to get it out there and sell it to the public over the next 3 years because the Nats cannot do it alone. I do agree on that point. The Nats cannot do this policy alone. It has to be a coalition. They'll probably come together back at some point, but they've got to sell nuclear.
I think the Nats can't win government alone, that's true, but I think the Nats are also banking on the fact that the Liberal Party can't win government without the Nationals.
That's true.
And so there's leverage both ways.
And that's the reality. You have to have nuclear if you want to have any hope of abandoning net zero. So if the Liberals abandon nuclear, well, then they're abandoning net zero as well. And I really don't see that happening. So this is the only path forward.
Unless the Liberal Party completely embrace renewables.
Well, that would be a disaster.
That would be an interesting move.
I wouldn't put it... We'll wait and see.
We'll wait and see. Now, let's move on to the Daily Telegraph, where we are in hot water. Taxpayer-funded handouts combined with poor regulation have allowed Australian homes to be flooded with dodgy and potentially dangerous hot water systems, a crisis that has been described as Pinkbat's version 2. Industry experts have warned lucrative government discounts, which until last year allowed some new heat pumps to be installed for free, have unleashed cowboy workers who have been selling cheaper Chinese-made products to unsuspecting customers. I mean, I feel like this is always the way. When you start giving out free stuff, you will always have the people that want to jump on that bandwagon and rot the system. So I can't say I'm particularly surprised, James. Yeah,
the Building Commission did inspections and they found of the hot water systems newly installed that they inspected, guess how many were compliant? 9%.
Oh, my goodness.
Can you believe that? And so they're comparing it to the Pinkbats fiasco and rightly so. Maybe not as dangerous, I don't think, as the Pinkbats where people died.
Where people died, that was really bad. But still, nonetheless, like heading into winter, that is very concerning when you've only got 9%. That is a very worrying statistic. I don't know. I'm quite puzzled how it has come to this. I mean, I don't understand how it's actually come to this level.
And if it's taxpayer funded as well, what is the process for them to get this money? How's the funding all working? This seems really dodgy.
Yeah, clearly. No, I completely agree.